Yeah, don't ask me. I got cut off somehow. I don't know. I went to go check the internet and it was still good. It said it was, but I just reset everything. And plus, I couldn't reconnect. It just died out. So I missed some of what y'all was saying. Yeah, I didn't get to go through some of the questions and stuff like that. But I did. Sir Flame was saying, from my understanding, and I think I got the same. I got the same gist of the matter. Is that Earl Spence did spar Bud Crawford at one point, and Earl hurt Bud Crawford. And maybe that's why Earl was saying that he's too light in the ass. I don't know. So if that's true, if Earl already got if Earl already has the information on him, if it's true that they already sparred and Earl was beating up on him, and sparring is not boxing, that's not a real match or whatever, but still. I mean, we could be getting played and stuff. I mean, come on. Like I said, I don't trust nobody in this boxing game, man. They might be playing us on this one. We might be getting played, y'all. They playing us. I don't blame them. Shit, if I had the position, I'd play y'all too. Or I'll play us too, if I had the position. Everything's just a big setup. So we just getting set up with this. But back to what I was saying about Maul and Mel. This brothers, y'all don't need to fight about it. I mean, just be happy. Be happy that your brother got to fight. And Bruce Gas boxing jazz and more. See, I felt like deja vu. It might be, man. I don't know. It's all weird because you know what? When I went to go check my internet, everything was cool. The internet was still good, so I'm just like, what the hell? I went there and said all the green lights was flashing that needed to be flashing. But then I was checking on a little bit of troubleshooting what to do. It said check another device, and so I did check another device. And when I checked another device, then the other device wasn't working. So that's when I went and reset. It's like, why am I resetting something that's already reset? There's something that's already like on perfect. That's like you had your lights on in the house, but you don't see no lights, and you go to check the circuit breakers or whatever you check, and they're cool. All the circuit breakers are cool. You're like, what the hell? I mean, if everything is already reset, then what am I doing? And you reset it again, and now everything reset. Lola D's in here. Cynthia. She said, Cynthia, you are not all that. I am all that. That's why you keep bringing it up. Let me see. I bet I am all that. Lola D said, Bruce, she got the anchor up good. Bruce, gas, boxing, jazz, and more. He hollering back at Lola D. I gotta drive in a minute, but listening, yeah. This is my retake. I had to come back. We got cut off somehow. So Lala D, you gonna drive in 1 minute? So what is this rumor that we're hearing that Bud got stopped in sparring? Are you gonna do a video? Do a video, cause we know Bud ain't got no stopped in no sparring, huh? Yeah, but we need to hear your assessment. You're rambling on. Well, somebody just told me they miss me. I might not be all that. And you know what, Bruce? I like to fight too. And I'm gonna tell you the reason I like this fight a lot. I like this fight a lot more. There's two things going on here, and I'll make my point being the first one. So the first one is um, if Maul would have stayed active, I would have wanted Maul to fight Canelo first if they both going to fight him. Since he's inactive, Mel makes it's a better choice for Mel. But I know Maul thinks he's the protector. He hasn't lost any fights. But in all reality, Mel is really the protector out of those two, out of those twins. Mel is more of a protector. Even though people think he might be emotional sometimes, I don't think. I think he's more of the protector. I think that Maul tries to pretend like he's the protector. But he's not really. Because remember he dropped down? He dropped down at that one point. He beat Rock, and then he moved back up. Oh, it was Rock. Oh, it was Lubin. Yeah, I think it was Lubin, right? It was Lubin that he dropped. What? Who did he drop down to fight? I think it was either Lubin. I think it was Lubin. He dropped down and he fought Lubin. Then he moved back up. Something like that. Was either him or J Rock. I get him transposed. But if he would have stayed more active, I think I would have preferred those two to fight. Even though he's not really the protector in the family. I think Mel is more a protector. But I would still preferred to see him. I think the fight would have been it would have been a rougher fight, like more competitive. I think Mel has a better, I think he's better equipped to beat up on Canelo. I mean those ones and twos and stuff. I think Maul would have had to use more trickery to get to Canelo. I don't think Mel has to use as much trickery. He just has to use his boxing skills. With that being said, hopefully this fight, we actually do get this fight. Hopefully it'll be a good fight. And hopefully Canelo still has some competitiveness in him. Because his last couple of fights, he's looked kind of trashy. A lot of these said something is possible because they say he dropped Floyd too. I still got Bud winning though. The same guy that sparred dropped Floyd. Yeah, well Floyd is not. He's not like he's undroppable. What Floyd has that other fighters didn't have is Floyd knows early in the fight that you can beat up on him, or early spar. He knows you can beat up on him. So he start coming up with these rules and stuff. You got to look at the mindset. So he comes up with these rules, like doghouse rules, that you're going to fight, and tell somebody this, get exhausted, this, can't fight no more. Of course, I'm going to beat you. Even if you're better than me, I'm still going to beat you. The reason I'm going to beat you is because, and I'm going to make you feel that I'm better, is because your stamina is just not as great as mine. And that's what it was with Floyd. Floyd used his stamina his whole career. That's what he used. Except for when he was lightweight. He didn't have to because that's before he had the hand problems. He would just, he had some punishing punches. He could take you out early in the fight. But yeah, that's my assessment, is that fighters like that, which is, I can understand why you could lose. Because what happens, the reason you lose your competitive edge and the reason that you lose your, I'm not going to say you lose your heart, but you just like, oh man, I don't know if I can do this, is because the stamina is one hell of a key, is a hell of an asset to have. And if you don't have that asset, then what's going to happen is you are going to probably end up losing. Because with the stamina, what happens is your confidence leaves too. All your confidence, it starts leaving. That's why I don't think Canelo versus Errol Spence, I don't think that'd be a greatest fight as what people would think it would be. Because Earl's going to beat the stamp. See, because when Canelo gets tired in the 6th and 7th, fighters are happy. Like, okay, I only have to throw a couple of punches. But Errol Spence is not going to throw a couple of punches. So once you get tired, like he's going to beat the second win out of you. I can see him getting Canelo so tired by the 9th that Canelo has to just, throw it in. And I know you guys think Canelo is so big and he can almost fight heavyweight. He's just a little dude, man. He just put on some weight. But he's a little guy still. He's not a big guy. If you even look at him standing up next to Floyd Mayweather, he's actually shorter than Floyd Mayweather is. Yep. Bruce Gas says, I think it might be like Taylor versus Taylor Chavez. That's, you know, that's actually, that's kind of a good assessment. I would like to see a fight like that. I would like to see a fight like that, but I don't want to see the same mistake. What happens because of the referee's inability to make an assessment of a fighter, which that, I don't know. I used to like Steele, but maybe there might have been some kind of funny business. There had to be some funny business because Lou Duva, we know that he was very emotional as a trainer, but he really just went crazy during that fight. There's a few fights where he went crazy. He went crazy during one of Mayweather's fights. He went crazy. Yeah, but he went ballistic. He loved Meldrick Taylor. He went ballistic. And to this day, everybody knows that Meldrick Taylor won that fight. Chavez needed like 5 knockdowns or something. He needed a 10-0 round to win that fight. I'm telling you, he needed a 10-0. He needed a 10-0. You know what I'm saying? He needed a 10-0 to win that fight. So they had to give it. They gave him that fight. Yep. Yep. Yeah, and that's another. I didn't want to say that, but Bruce Gas put it out there too. He said Maul isn't mentally ready, and I'm not sure he will ever be. So that's one thing we just don't know. Claudia said Cynthia, no. She said Spence. They're saying Spence had dropped Bud before, and it said he dropped Floyd too. But I would never make a video about that unless I see it for myself or Spence says it. But Spencer will never say it though. Spence ain't gonna never talk about his sparring session with Bud. And yes, Bud, you know, gets on his nerve too much. But Earl is pretty calm and collective. He usually don't let nobody really upset him like that. Earl, if you ever notice, Earl is so calm. I heard Bud doing an interview or something. He was like, or just talking. And he said that the loudest person in the room is usually the weakest person. I'm like, why is he saying that when a lot of times he's the loudest man in the room? It's like, so you're telling on yourself. Don't do that. Of course, I put my comment. I said, when it comes to boxing, I said Ali used to be the loudest man in the room, and he wasn't no punk. I said that assessment, that doesn't work. That assessment does not work in all arenas because sometimes the loudest guy in there is going to kill everybody. Mike Tyson used to be loud and crazy, and you know he was going to kill somebody. Simple as that. So that whole assessment was wrong that he brought that up. Oh, the loudest person is the weakest. No, I don't believe that. Because some people be loud and tell you, I dare you to move. If anybody in this room move, I'm taking their ass out. When you get into the military, the loudest man in the room is probably going to be that drill instructor when you first get in there. He's not the weakest man in there. So you have to put it in perspective. Don't just open your mouth and start talking about stuff if you don't have any kind of perspective of what you're saying. You have to set a picture first before you start just running your mouth. Because some people, the loudest man is the toughest man in the room. Especially when they dare you to do something. I dare anybody. You know what I mean? So you have to paint the right picture when you make those kind of assessments. And I know he's not well versed in, you know, making assessments like that. He's just going off of his general mindset. I know. That's going to be the argument. Well, he was just talking in general, this and that. Yeah, but no. You have to always be careful. I try to catch myself a lot of times. Like in this forum, I just talk and talk and talk because I love rhetoric too. So I'll just keep going. But if I was going to lecture somebody, if I'm going to teach about something, then I got to break down everything that I talk about. So that way a person is not led astray from what I'm actually saying. Just like when I talk about separatism and stuff like that, people take it the wrong way. Oh, they say what would be best a lot of times. But let's just go back. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, a lot of D. She said because I heard Spence say he dropped Floyd in so many words. And Bruce laughed about Tony Weeks, his ref. Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah, as the ref, yeah. Bruce again. He said Vinny passed Mayweather junior fight. Duva had to go to the hospital on the stretcher. That's because, and that's a fight that a lot of people think that Floyd should have lost because of what happened too. Though, isn't that the fight? I think that's the fight where Roger knocked Luke Duva's ass out. He put a knot underneath his eye. Or something there. Says there's nothing wrong with Bud saying that. That's an old saying. Uh, you just want to make it about Bud because you can't help yourself. I'm not making it about Bud. I'm talking about Bud because you know why I'm making it about Bud? Is because who was I talking about there? I was talking about Bud. Bud said it. It's not always a good assessment. I don't care. I'm not saying it just because it's Bud. I said it that I even gave a life lesson about it. If yes, you wasn't even listening to my life lesson there that I gave about it. I said a lot of times, even when you join the military, the loudest person in the room is not the weakest person in the room. Yeah, Roger. Yeah, Roger put that thing on him. Yeah, but I'm saying that the loudest person, that's just a general. He made a general assessment. I said you can't make a general assessment like that and make it be true. General assessments are not normally true when they're general. Think about it. It's a general assessment. It's just like if you have a general contract for something. It's not necessarily true for everything. You're going to have to do what they call amending. You have to amend. You have to amend the words. You have to amend the language of the contract. Stop playing with me. You always think I'm picking on Bud like I'm a Bud hater or something like that. I don't like Bud. I don't hate Bud. I don't like him. I don't like his personality. People think he's all this and that and fun, but to me, he's all over the place. I never liked Sean Porter. I never liked his personality. And I will keep saying it. Sean was necessary for boxing. Sean was more necessary for boxing than Bud is, to be honest. Because you need Sean's style in boxing. You needed that. You need this old crazy guy that's going to jump up in the air and throw punches. You need that. Because it shows how another fighter will fight against that kind of opposition. You say, I don't even know that man. He said the words. You want me to pull him up? He's the one said it. Now you say, I don't know him, but you want me to just go with what he's saying. What he's saying is not always true. He's making a general statement. He's trying to make it true because the strap riders are, yeah, you right, Bud, you right. No, you're not right. In a general consensus, that can be true, but it's never really completely true. There's people that are loud that would beat the dog shit out of you. In a lot of cases. A lot of cases, your parents are louder than everybody in the room. If your parents tell you something like, I'm going to get in that ass, you're not going to say, oh, no, you must be the weakest person in the room. Come on, stop it. Don't play with ego, because ego knows. Now, you're taking it, you got emotional about it, but you shouldn't have. I'm just saying you got to clean up the language. I'm not saying that he's totally wrong, but I'm saying as a general. I said generally you could say stuff like that because people generally say that, but that's not. But see, if you took that as specific information, if you took that as being truth, then that means if you get in a room with some loud people, you say, oh, he's weak. And you get in there thinking you could take the person out, and you end up getting your ass knocked out because you thought you could take the person out because you didn't listen to somebody say, oh, yeah, they're weak if they're the loudest person in the room. And you listened to it and got your ass knocked out. That's all I'm saying. There's nothing wrong with that. What he said. Okay, well, take it. If there's nothing wrong, stop it. Stop using the term emotion when somebody corrects you. We're having a conversation. What you mean? You can't correct. You didn't correct me. There's just nobody else in here that's willing to put that argument up You know what? If we were to debate about what you just talked about, you're gonna lose, baby. You're gonna lose, baby girl. I'm gonna win because that is a general statement. I've heard that statement. It's not a truthful statement though. It's a general statement. General statements are not always truthful, and no matter what you're talking about. Basic boxing is general boxing. Guess what? It doesn't always work. When somebody says get back to the basics, it don't always work on everybody. I low key think you're Bud obsessed. I ain't nobody obsessed. If Bud get knocked the F out, just make sure you have your ass here. If Earl come here, I'm still gonna talk about everybody. See, this is the difference, Lala D, is it's my job to do all the talking. That's what I'm here for. I'm just here to participate. I'm here to participate in talking bad about you if you go in there and do something wrong. There's like a lot of people were so high on Jared Anderson. A lot of people high on him. You never heard me, being real high on him or something like that, because every time I get high on one of these new fighters, something happens. They get exposed or something happens to them. I mean, Haney still has to show me some things. Shakur Stevenson still has to show me some things. And that's why I always go with Tank. Tank don't really have to show me nothing. There's one thing that Tank has to show me. Tank has to show me that he could come back from like some type of adversity. Yeah. Oh, Aaron Simpson back. He said, "Yo, I'm back." He said, "Talk." He said, "Please preach." So when it comes to Tank Davis, I don't worry about Tank Davis as much as I worry about some of the other fighters at 135. I don't worry about him as much because the only thing he really has to show me is his ability to come back from controversy. He has showed it against lesser opponents in the past, but I want to see it against like tough competition. Devin Haney has to show me that he can really take it. Shakur Stevenson has to show me that he can really take it from somebody who's going to bring it. You see what I mean? Because they're always, for the most part, those two are usually, they're like the last one I would say the last fight for Haney, it got kind of controversial if you watched it live. If you go back and watch the fight, yes, Haney won the damn fight because Loma was missing terrible. But during the fight, because of the crowd, if you don't turn that damn sound off, then you would have thought that Loma won because of the sound effects that people make. But just to understand that if you turned it off, that you would have known that Haney won that fight. But we want to see Haney in something. We want to see him come back from real adversity. We need to see Shakur we need to see all those fighters that I mentioned. We need to see them come back from some type of controversy. Oh, you're down, you're losing this and that. We have seen Earl when they suspected they were saying that he was down, but he wasn't really down. We've seen him come back. So we've seen fighters that like really come back. And your love for Bud is going to get your heart hurt. Because a lot of these fighters that Bud has been hurt against, even when he was fighting with Ed, when he fought that one guy, what's his name? Y.E. When he fought Y.E., those are abbreviations just in case you don't know. When he fought Y.E., he did get hurt. Even Andre Ward said he was hurt. He went down. But they didn't call it a knockdown. He didn't come straight back. He tried to fight off the back. He was fighting off the back foot. He didn't come straight out charging. Oh, you see what because he was running his mouth and talking about, you see what I do when I get hurt. Like I come back and I knock people out. No. Again, when he was fighting Y.E., he didn't make no comeback like that. He was on the back foot for a while. Go back and look at it. He was on that back foot trying to escape. You can't afford to get hurt like that against Earl because when you're on the back foot, maybe the other fighters are going to relax and not throw punches, but you're going to still be getting hit. Yeah. She said, let me see. He said, gifts, athleticism only goes so far. Like Roy, that's it. There we go. Now we got Aaron Simpson in here. His first time to actually participate was today. He came back to see me again after I got cut off somehow. And he's making, see, those are points that people bring up, and it's a general statement, but see the difference between his general statement and your general statement is his general statement is truthful. Athleticism only lasts so long. Once it's over with, it's over with. Once you don't have that athleticism, it's over with. Once those reflexes are gone, it's over with. I'm sorry, dear. She said, nice try, that's child psychology. He stopped him. Where's the lie? You say you hate that, don't you? I didn't say that he did not. See, a lot of what you're doing is you're picking and choosing points of what I'm saying. I didn't say he didn't come back and get him. At the time that he got hurt, he wasn't trying to come right back. A lot of times when he get hurt, he comes right back firing. In that fight, he didn't come right back firing. See, I'm gonna bring it. I'll bring it up. Probably I'm gonna show a clip or something like that. Hopefully, I don't get in trouble. But I'm gonna just show you what I'm talking about. The difference from when he got hurt by somebody else, how he came forward. He didn't come forward when he got hurt by YE. He did not come forward. So stop it. Yeah, usually Floyd's different. He had skills. Yeah, he had the athleticism. But I'll tell you what he said. What sums it up for Floyd. And I happen to be a spiritual person, so a lot of times, and I don't know which God these people profess to, but a lot of times when somebody says something about like God, when they give God the credit first all the time, then I can rock with them. When they start talking about me, then it's a turnoff. But if you start talking about my people, like, oh, my father and my people, like, they got me together. Fathers get zero credit. There's always moms that get credit. Most times fathers don't get no credit. Moms get all the credit, like they was out there throwing hands or whatever else they was doing. Like, moms get all the credit. Dads don't get no credit. But did you know this about dads? Did you know that if you were to, that for instance, if you did a DNA test on your sister, that they could find out who the mom was, but they could never find out who the dad is through the sister. Did you know that? You can only find out who the dad is through the brother. You can find out who the mom and dad is through the brother, but you can only find out who the mom is through the sister. Did anybody know that? Because of the mitochondria DNA. But you can find out, you have to go to your brother to find out who your dad was, basically. Ain't that something? Yeah, because you are picking and choosing, but you think you're smooth with it. She said I catch it all the time. Okay, I'll be back to driving. No, Lala D, you ain't gonna play me like that. You a sweetheart, but you can't play me like that. Me and you we're gonna have to throw hands or something when we run into each other, because you can't just talk to Eagle like that all the time. You talk to me like that all the time. Or you all Eagle trying to use that psychology? He trying to use the top child psychology? No. I made a great assessment. It's just that you didn't think it through. And since I came up with a great point, you got upset. You like, that damn Eagle always know. And you got upset because Eagle knows. So that's why you got upset, Lala D. Don't get upset with Eagle over something simple like that. It was all started off of a general statement that Bud made. It's not like I was against Bud. I said, but because I was reading some of the comments, a lot of people disagreed with what Bud was saying. They said, no, you can't. Somebody else said the same thing. I said, no, they said you cannot use that. That you cannot use that assessment. You can only use that assessment as a general rule, because sometimes the loudest person in the room is the baddest man in the room, and we would assume that he's talking about boxing. So, but I still took it as being general. But I said you can't use that general. But if you talk about boxing, then he would have been wrong again. The loudest man in the room in boxing is not necessarily going to be the one that's losing. Because Ali used to be the loudest all the time. He used to be the winner. Right? So stop it. Don't play with me. I might be wrong, but fundamentals will be a problem for Crawford. He said Floyd started with fundamentals. Crawford started with pure heart and athleticism. Well, you're starting. You see some things, and like I said, I don't want to say too much, but you see some things that a lot of people that come in here have not been seeing and have not been saying for a while. Is how far do those talents take you when you're on somebody who's just, doing the basic things that they need to do? And see that, and a lot of times, a lot of what people are relying on also at Aaron, what a lot of people are relying on also, they're relying that Earl is slow, and Earl is not slow. You guys better go back and look at some of what he does. He'll throw slow punches when he can. He'll conserve his energy. That's why he has so much stamina at the end of the game. It's because he'll conserve his energy and just hit you like, just like beat you up while you're covering up. But if he needs to speed it up, he will speed it up. But right. But Floyd had an advantage is because he grew up with a boxing family, and he did use a lot of his athleticism. But if you look at him when he was younger, when he was lightweight, he was putting people out. He was just coming in he was putting people out with body shots. He'll come in and he'll fire to the body. Yep. Errol Spence started with heart and fundamentals. Yep. He said, I eat and sleep boxing. He said, watch his defense. And that's another cap too that they put out there that they were saying. They were saying that some of the best defensive fighters, they had Bud up there. They didn't even have Earl up there. I was like, man, y'all got to be kidding me. Y'all stop playing. That y'all got these fighters up here, and Earl's not on the list. Earl don't be sitting there getting tagged up and shit. Because if Earl was getting punched out like that, that means whoever Earl's fighting is the one that's coming forward. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you getting pieced up like that, that means somebody else is coming forward. So if Earl is getting pieced up, that means the other fighters he's not the one coming forward. They're the ones that's coming forward. Y'all need to stop playing with ego, man. Don't play with me like that, man. Stop playing. Stop playing. You know. What up, Eagle? Brothers and sisters. That's right, Jay Cooley. What's up, Jay Cool? Yeah, we was in here. Eagle had to come back, man. Yeah, I'm in here fighting with Lala D right now. But she driving again, yeah, but she think I got hate for Bud. Yeah. Lala D always on something all the time. Yeah. You right, Jay Cooley. I don't give Bud zero chance, but I'm just saying Earl gonna beat Bud up. He gonna beat Bud up because he wanna beat Bud up. It had nothing to do with nothing else. If you take everything out the picture, is that Earl's gonna beat up Bud because he wanna beat up Bud. It ain't got shit to do with Bud's skill set or nothing like that. Earl's gonna beat Bud up because Earl wants to beat Bud up. As simple as that. And when somebody wants to beat you up and they can beat you up, you're gonna get your ass whooped. As simple as that. Yeah, he said Bud will have to fight for his life. Yeah, when Floyd became money after he hurt his hands, Floyd was a killer early. Yeah, when he became Money Mayweather, and as you remember, I think he had like 4 names. He had 4 names. One name only lasted like 1 or 2 fights. He was Flamboyant, Flamboyant Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd, Money Mayweather, and then something else. I think he took his father. Did he take his father's name for a fight or so, right? He took Floyd Joy Jr., I believe. Yeah. But let's stop with the cap. Stop playing though, because if Earl wants to beat this guy up, he's gonna beat the guy up. I don't care. I mean, I'm looking at skill sets and all that, but we're gonna bring it up though, Jay Cooley. I had to put up some clips. Hopefully we don't get taken down. But I got to bring up at least some still photos and shit like that. But people act like Bud just be moving all over the place. Oh yeah, Bud slick ring movement and shit. Bud is not no dancing fighter. Bud don't be up on his toes and shit like Ali moving like Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard. He don't be up on his toes. He be flat-footed. Stop. I don't know why people act like he be Bud be over ring IQ. The traps. Man, stop it. Stop that stupid shit. Okay. Aaron said I was just on True Media broadcast before this. Yeah. But what we have to understand about this boxing is that is just what Aaron brought up, just what Jay will probably bring up, and other people will bring up. If just because you're an athlete don't always transcend. Your athletic prowess don't always get you nowhere. I think Michael Nunn was probably one of the most athletic boxers ever. Probably had one of the best styles and everything. And what made him one of the best in boxing is because he was so comfortable in the ring until he ran into Tony, and he was beating Tony easy. He was beating James Tony easy until he got caught up. He got caught up being pretty in his own work of what he was doing. And if you notice that James Tony had a certain defensive style, but his offensive style, it wasn't always as effective. He was always better as a counterpuncher. But when he fought Nunn, he was losing. He had to come forward. And he finally got something landed on Nunn. Simple as that. So you could say that, that skill set versus all that athleticism, you see what ended up happening. Yeah. See, but that's what you guys got to understand. Is that all that athleticism is great. But what happens when you get tired and that athleticism leaves? Or you just got to keep being athletic. I mean, we even watched Ali great, like the speed of Ali. And we used to watch, like, some fighters would be so determined, like, I got to get him. He's just so much faster than me. He has the foot, don't know heavyweights have the foot movement, or don't know even lightweights have the foot movement that Ali had. And people are just like crazy. People, you had to have crazy killers to try to come get Ali. And they would just pressure and pressure and pressure. They had to. Ali used to have to fight on the back foot with some of these pressure fighters, and he had to beat them off of them. Like, I got to beat your ass off me, you coming up. Ali's gloves, even his gloves would be those raggedy after the fight. That's how determined these fighters was. They were so determined that you could bust your gloves on their face and they were still coming forward. That's crazy. These fighters aren't like that today. I'm just saying. So you get mad. Aaron Simpson said, I think you understand Earl more than anyone. He said you're on point. Well, I tried to. I just try to have my points, brother. You guys got better points than me, man. I don't know shit about boxing. I really don't. I don't know shit about boxing. I know, like, what I know about boxing is, like, a lot of people know the fighters and stuff. I know the styles, and I know combat. I've been in combat ever since I was a little kid. So, I mean, I know the art of, like, the combat. I know the different arts. I study them. I study the different arts of, of the combat. So I can always talk about that portion of it. And that's what I think I'm better at. I'm better at understanding the art of just fighting. I understand it a lot more, Like, a lot of people, they'll bring up shit like 2 weeks later or something like that. And I'll give people my assessment right now, what I see. Like, if I see Tank Davis, if I see he's tricking somebody, I see what he's doing. When he's setting up certain traps. He has a nice little back foot trap that he uses a lot. And if you get tired, you're going to get caught with it. He has a nice little inside trap that he hits you with. And what he does, he's good. Like, Tank Davis is good at counting what you do. Okay, you're going to do that twice. Okay, you're doing it again. Okay, you do it one more time, it's over with. Like, he hopes. So for you, a person to beat Tank Davis, you have to change up what you do. Like, every couple of punches, you have to change up what you do. You can't repeat in one round. You can't just come out mistaken with this and hit him with that. You can't do that. Because then once he sees through it, then he's already set. He's already timing, like, oh, I couldn't throw it then. I'm gonna get him. Then he'll get you. Like, if you look up at this clip right here, is that Sugar Ray Robinson? He just throws this. He throws this hook. He's like, oh, you just ain't gonna defend? He just looked at him like. He squared his legs up and just like, oh, take this then. If you're gonna just stand there. See, the guy was throwing punches. He's throwing punches, like, but you can see his shoulder. And as soon as he acts like he was going to throw that punch, he gets caught. Like, oh, sit your ass down. Get your ass out of here with all that shit. Like, you doing extra shit. Get your ass out. You talking about that was an athletic person right there, though. Tap dancing and everything else. He can do everything. Probably can do anything he wants to. Probably could have been a great swimmer. Just didn't get all the respect that he probably deserved. Yep. He's the only beast I've seen like Earl is Hagler. But it's ironic, I see Ray and Spence too early. Ray was early Mayweather. That's it. There you go. I told people about that too. I told people that I said Spence is more like a haggler. Good thing you did. See, at least I got somebody on my side when it comes to that. I said Spence is like he's like a haggler type of fighter. That's what I try to tell people. Got them skills, you're gonna have to whoop me off you for the whole fight. One thing I think is tougher on Spence is Spence does not like let you. He don't let you get him out of his game plan. See, like one thing about Marvin, he would let you get him out of his game plan at times. When he never did, he never had to let you, but he would let you. You know what I mean? And I just don't see that. I don't see Earl letting somebody get him out, getting him out the game plan like that. But Marvin would. Yeah, so you understand that the martial arts style of Spence inside. I'm a martial artist. Okay, jab and face, hold it there to blind his body shots. Yeah, oh, of course. All those different things, they do that. A lot of fighters will do that. Even in MMA, they will do that. Yeah. It's kind of it's a face guard move. It's a face guard movement. So the face guard movement, you can use that. Uh, the the way they shun it in boxing is if it's a touch. Uh, George Foreman used to do it. George Foreman used to do it like this. George Foreman used to hold his big old glove up like this. So George Foreman would do it just like that. Now in boxing, what they don't allow you to you're not supposed to hold it. Martial arts, you can grab like all up in here, like grab behind the head and all that. Boxing, you're not supposed to do that. But sometimes the ref lets them get away with that, holding behind the head and all that, but you're not supposed to be able to do that. But Earl has a lot of little tricky things that he uses. He uses that, he used that little blinding thing for you. He's not really going to feint as much. He doesn't need to feint to go to your body because he's going to your body regardless. That's what he's doing. You got to stop him. That's the point, is that you have to stop him. He's going to the body, so it's up to you. Are you going to stop me from going to the body? What you going to do? And that's how Earl fights. He fights like, what are you going to do to stop me from doing what I'm doing? Let's see what you do. And then I'll make some other adjustments. That's what he does. So you're just going to have to make adjustments when you fight Earl. As simple as that. You're just going to have to make adjustments. And I'm not saying Bud, it's not. I'm not even talking bad about Bud, like he don't bring nothing. I'm like, but he's the one who had to make all the adjustments. Earl might have to make adjustments, but you're gonna have to start off making adjustments because guess what? He's coming at you from as soon as the bell rings. And he's not no feeling. It's different when you fight Earl. There's no feel out round. You don't get to feel Earl out. You don't get to feel. You don't get to feel what the flow of the fight's gonna be like. You get to feel pressure is what you get to feel right away. And you got to understand that, oh, this is coming the whole time. So now in between rounds, you can probably assess, let me see, what can I do to stop this pressure? You can assess that, but is that going to necessarily, is it going to ring true for you that you can actually stop the pressure? No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. You might do a little bit better or something like that, but we see fighters who try to turn it up and fight them. But shit, even when he got his mouthpiece knocked out like 2 or 3 times during fights. And one time he tripped over somebody and was down. The ref asked him, are you okay? And he went and washed off, I think it was Van Herden or something. He went and washed off the mouthpiece and then Earl stopped him. Like, nah, hell no. I ain't gonna let people out here think that you hurt me. That's the only thing, is that you can't pretend to hurt Earl. You got to actually hurt him. I don't know. We just got looking forward, folks, to a great fight. I mean, that's what everybody says, that we're looking forward to a great fight. I don't know if it's going to be as great as what people think it is. I could be wrong. That's the whole thing about predicting boxing. But from what I see right now, it's just this. I think Earl is just too. I think he's just too much for any fighter at 147. He's too much. He's too much for most of the fighters, probably all the fighters at 154. And maybe even at 160 he might be too much. So I don't know. Earl is... He don't even have to stop at 154. He can go straight to 160 and be real comfortable. He gonna be the new middleweight at 160, and then maybe jump up from there if he wants to. He walks around. It's a big guy. He's a big guy. He naturally can be bigger. If you look at his frame, he holds 20 pounds on that frame easily to still be lean. He holds 20 pounds on that frame. As an average person, let's put him at, not a little bit above average, let's put him at 9%, 10% body fat. Let's put him at 10% body fat. If he's at 10% body fat, he's walking around at 185. Something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, but we just got to see, man. I'm just tired of all the extra rhetoric talk. I like to speak rhetoric and I like to talk crap a lot of time, but you have to listen to me when I'm serious too, though, because I like to play around and I want people to laugh about stuff. It's not always. Jay Cooley been with me for a long time, so Jay Cooley, he been with me for years, so he knows that we come in here. Sometimes it's just nothing but all we doing is just cracking up, laughing and shit. We might have a whole stream that all you see is laughing faces the whole time throughout the whole stream. But there's points of time that you have to be a little bit more serious about it. You got to be serious about the art form. If you appreciate boxing, then appreciate boxing for what it is. Just because you're in love with a guy because he's a great boxer, look at his style. I mean, everybody was crazy about Roy Jones, but look what happened. Everybody was crazy about Sugar Ray Leonard, but look what happened. The only person, to be honest with you, that did not lose it, and that was Sugar Ray Robinson. Sorry. You have to go all the way back there to have a great boxer like that had that great boxing style that still hurt you, had that great punching power. You have to go all the way back to Sugar Ray Robinson. Sorry. That's the way it is. If you have an argument or you want to discuss this, we can discuss this. So that's all I can say. Yep. Some people just talk smart. Smart talk. Can you stop it? He said, laughing out loud. He said, I'm laughing. They say Earl doesn't adjust. Actually, anyone in the chat watch old Earl fights and recent fights. Watch it, defense and offense. Right. Both sides. Said, I agree. He might be the best fighter. Yeah. Said, yeah, he's a step above. Even a lot of people don't even want to put him with Marvin Hagler, but he's a step above. He's a step above probably the best middleweight of all times. And Bernard Hopkins was not the best middleweight of all times. He would not have beaten Hagler. And a lot of people say, oh, you can't really say that's what they call it. It's something that could never been proven. But in my eyes, I couldn't see him. He wouldn't have beat Hagler. He wouldn't have beat Hagler because Hagler didn't care if he was a counter puncher. He didn't care. He was going to put pressure on you the whole time. Yeah. I agree. He might be the best. Okay. But anyone can be hit. Crawford got a chance to catch him. Yep. He has a chance. And like I said, people think I'm writing Crawford off. No, I'm just going by what I actually see and what my assessment and when it comes to combat. That's what I'm going by. I'm not going by no kind of hate for Crawford, even though I don't like Crawford. And people think I don't like Crawford, but I don't like Crawford's style for a man. I'm a grown man, so I like a grown man's style. Like Aaron comes in here, he had his own, I don't know him, but Aaron comes in, he got his own style. He likes to speak his word as a man. He's talking, he's making sense because this is grown folks boxing chat. That's why it's a smaller forum, because if you come in here with the bullshit, somebody's gonna throw you out. So you come in here and you talking like an adult, you're making sense, then I can mess with that. I F with you. You feel me? I can F with you if you come in like that. But you come in all off of a whole nother energy and shit, then nah, we don't need you up in here. That's for a fanboy. That's for you to just go spam somebody else's chat with all your bullshit words, and that's okay. But you can't come in here and just spam my chat with all kinds of bullshit words, because ain't nobody here gonna go for that. There's a big difference. Nobody's gonna go for that. We try to we make light of it, but like I always said, that when it came to Sean Porter, people start seeing that it was true. I said I don't like Sean Porter. I said Sean Porter was a real necessary boxer for boxing. We need those type of fighters. We need all the throwback fighters, the fighters just gonna leap in and do all kinds of shit. I said, but I don't like his personality. I said he has a suspect personality. And I said there's a few fighters like that. And I said Bud is suspect. Because he's not his own person to just, I mean, he wants you to love him. You have to love him in order to be around him. What kind of man is that you got to love to be around? You should love everybody, but I'm saying that if you have to love me to be around me, I don't want you around me if you got to love me like that. You should already love me, and I should already love you. To be around me, you should respect that I have an opinion. I respect that you got an opinion. We don't have to always like what each other say, because we're not going to like what each other says. We're independent thinkers and men. We're not going to like what the other person say all the time, but we're going to respect. I'll respect your opinion on that. I'm going to respect your opinion on it. Oh, no, I'm not talking about you. I said, yeah. No, I was giving you a compliment, Aaron. I wasn't taking away from you, brother. He said, thanks, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to spam your chat. No, nobody's talking. Everybody's driving or doing something else. A lot of people, like when I come on there at work, so they get a few words off and then, they'll just listen to what Eagle got to say. Oh, believe me, if they got to say something, if they want to fight with me like Lala D, she's not be able to speak right now, but if she wants to say something, believe me, she'll leave me a nice little comment. And then I'll get back to one of her videos and I'll leave her a comment, mess with her. She'll tell me that I ain't all that and that I'm a Bud hater and all that. But I think deep inside she knows I'm not really a Bud hater. I don't like Bud's personality as a man. I don't. Some people, I don't like their personality as a man. I'm not saying that you can't do nothing dumb. I do a lot of dumb shit. I make people laugh. I do a lot of silly shit. But I'm genuine. And I think my personality is my personality. I don't switch up and change up for people. I don't try to make people love me a certain way or whatever. You either love me because you just love me as a person, just, okay, I love this guy, it's cool. And then, liking me is different. You don't necessarily have to like me as much, but you can, you respect my opinion, I respect your opinion. We get along like that. Like, okay, I can never always be right, you can't always be right. If we can say that about each other, we can get along. And we probably gonna have fun. But if I don't like you, we probably ain't gonna have fun. Because then I'm gonna put a chip on my shoulder. I'm like, oh, this phony motherfucker. I'm gonna put a chip on my shoulder every time that you speak. I'm gonna have a chip on my shoulder. Oh, this old phony. Ooh, this mother. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be like, this damn guy here. That's just the way I'm gonna be feeling about it. You see. But if you just down to earth, I can see what you do with your family. I can see how you treat people, how you talk to people. I'm like, okay, he got good personality as far as like, that's what a real man type of shit that a real man do. Because real man really got to step up sometime. Just because you feel like you better than somebody because you got a certain skill set, and you take somebody. I mean, and don't take this wrong. Don't get all upset and mad because we're talking about boxing. A professional fighter should never be calling somebody back to a back room. Like, we can go back in this back room and handle this. Well, you're a professional fighter. But guess what? If you take me into a back room, what you don't understand about me is that I'm not a professional fighter. But I'm a professional with something that, that's very sharp. I'm a professional with that. So if you take me in the back room, I'm coming back out. I might have a little red on my shirt or something like that, but I'm coming back out. You see what I mean? There's a difference. You're a professional fighter. So you take a professional gunslinger into the back room. The professional gunslinger is coming back out. He's a professional. Think about it. Put up professional boxing versus professional shooter. A professional shooter can get rid of you in less than 2 seconds. Think about that. It's all perspective, and it's, like I said, you can't take everything as being general. It's all perspective. Be careful who you ask for. And you have gangsters that will tell you the same thing. They say, yeah, he's a professional fighter. They say, stick with fighting. A professional boxer or a professional MMA fighter is different than a professional killer. It's different. Because after the fight, somebody can get killed. After UFC, somebody can get killed. But after a professional killer, somebody is getting killed. There's different levels. Oh, Eagle, you take it too far. No. understand. I understand real life. You guys are understanding bullshit life. I'm understanding real life. You got to realize. I couldn't talk about these situations if I've never been in them. Hmm? Yeah. Answer said true. He said, okay. He said, it was like Sean was begging him to be his friend. I agree. Yeah. It's like all that funny shit. It's like Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is another one with that. He got a suspect personality. He's young. He wants to be a man, but he just don't. He can't be his own. He can be his own guy in some parts of his life. Other parts of his life, he can't be his own guy. And I know that young, even Tank Davis. But I still like Tank Davis because he seemed like a little cousin or something like that, little nephew. He just seems like that type of a guy. Be in trouble sometimes, but he's learning. But some of these guys, they try to do too much. Oh, I want to be your best friend and all that shit. Like Ryan wants to be everybody's friend. Now he trying to be Earl Spence's friend. Want to see what Earl Spence do. Then later on he'll call out Earl Spence and get knocked out. Stop it. Stop playing around with grown folk all the time. Yep. A professional thinker will always be the professional killer. Politics controls warrior. Yeah, that's true too. That's what they call the pen. It's that pen being mightier than the sword. That's true, because they still lock you up. But then again, if I got into it for real, to explain this whole life that you're in, that all of us are locked up as it is. Really, we really are locked up. That's why they call us. That's why they call it a grid, because we're all locked up on the grid. Sean Father was the man in that situation. Yeah, he could never grow up. Could never be his own. Could never really have his own personality. That's why he'd be jumping all over the place. I had a best friend that has kind of a personality like that. That's why I can read. Because there's only there's not billions of personalities. There's billions of people on earth, but there's not like billions of like unique personality. They're not. They're going to be so similar that you can assess them. Yeah, they're going to be they're going to be so similar that you're going to be able to assess the same ones. But anyway, man, let me get out of here. I know I had to do a little bit of overtime today. I like to do like an hour and a half at the most, something like that. But yeah, we didn't get into everything we needed to, but we'll be back. We'll be back Wednesday. You guys enjoy your holiday this week, today and tomorrow. Hopefully you guys don't call in sick Wednesday. I'll be back Wednesday. Father willing, that we all be back nice and healthy. We'll be able to talk a little bit more about it. But anyway, my shout out to all the real people that I see, and my shout out to all y'all that mess with me. Y'all know what it is. Eagles Way of Boxing. It don't matter what day it is, man. I'm going to leave y'all with nothing but blessings. That's how I do it. So you got to get used to that, Aaron. That's how I leave y'all. I don't leave y'all but nothing but blessings, man. Ain't no animosity on Eagles' part. And by the way, thanks for coming back. Yeah, appreciate you coming back, man. No problem, brother. He said, good cast, my homie. Respect. Yeah, that's what we do, man. We try to come in here and just try to, yeah, I'm just trying to, I try to make the best assessments out of what we do in the boxing community. We try not to get caught too much up on the chit chat. Like we'll bring it up, like I'll bring it up and I'll just ask the questions about it. I don't fall for it. I don't get all caught up in it. That's all I do. All I do is just bring it up and, just to, to see what people feel about. Like if it's controversy, I'll just bring it up. We just want to see the real combat. We want to see some good fights. I know a lot of people say best fight and the best. I don't care about the best fight and the best. Because the best might not even be the best. I want to see good fights. I want to be able to say, damn, that was a good fight. And then the next fight, I was like, damn, that was a good fight. I want it to be an argument about who had the best fight. Like, competition. Come on now. Queensberry, the markers of Queensberry rules, which is bullshit in today's boxing. When you have mismatches, all the fights. So basically what they're saying, the markers of Queensberry rules, is we're supposed to see all good fights, no matter at every level. Is the competition should be a good fight. So all the fights we watch, they should end up in some type of almost like a split decision, a majority draw. They should never be like a complete blowout if we assess it the right way. Okay, he said always. He said I'm hooked now. He said the community. He said I'd be better with you here. All right, brother. I'm gonna catch y'all, man. Salute to all my people out there.